Good morning, welcome to Little by Little, a short time in God's Word. Today, January 29th, we're still in the book of Job. The end is in sight, which also means God's going to start speaking and it's going to get good. So before we get there though, we're in chapter 35, 36, and 37, and Job's friends continue to speak. And what we're going to see here with Elihu is not just, hey, he's going after Job, but he thinks it's necessary to defend God. Now, just as a FYI, God can take care of himself, right? And so this is where I think, and God calls him on this, you know, he goes after Job and the things Job has expressed and the hurt and the pain and the questions that he's had and the searching out for who God is and where God is and he just wants to talk to God and just get it out and get it over with and get through it. And so Elihu says, verse 3, that you ask, what advantage have I? How am I better off than I have sinned? I will answer you and your friends with you. Look at the heavens and see, and behold the clouds which are higher than you. If you have sinned, what do you accomplish against him? If your transgressions are multiplied, what do you do to him? If you are righteous, what do you give to him? What does he receive from your hand? Your wickedness concerns a man like yourself, and your righteousness a son of man. Because of the multitude of oppressions, people cry out. They call for help because of the arm of the mighty, but none say, where is God my maker, who gives song in the night, who teaches us more than the beasts of the earth and makes us wiser than the birds of the heavens? Verse 14, how much less when you say that you do not see him, that the case is before him, and you are waiting for him. And now, because his anger does not punish, and he does not take much note of transgression, Job opens his mouth in empty talk. He multiplies words without knowledge. Whoa, dude, right? It's like, Job, you're just talking, and it's not wise, it's not good. And basically, he's trying to combat everything Job has said in his search for trying to get purpose and understanding of what's been happening to him. And rather than just say, yeah, I can't imagine. I don't even have words to express, Job, what you're going through. But is that how you feel about God? You know, and this is what you, right? Like, try to bring some understanding to the picture. He takes Job's words and he turns them back on himself as if he's got the answers. And the problem is he's listened, but he hasn't learned. And so he's not really loving Job. And he's trying to instruct Job. And that's always our tendency when we're trying to help. And that's why Paul, you know, when he talks about correcting one another, to do it with gentleness, lest we too would fall. Why? Because we're just one step from being where someone else is. You know, it's one bad decision, one choice, something that would happen that is out of our control, right? Like, these are all things that have just happened to Job. And so he's trying to make sense of it. And so when his friends come along and they just go after him, it's not comforting, it's not life-building and exhorting. It's, you know, it'd be one thing if you could clearly see, you know, Job doing some things that were out of line, right? Then, yeah, you get to call him out. But his friend is going to talk about God's greatness, which is wonderful, right? In chapter 36 and then into 37 as well. And so there's nothing wrong with this, but he's acting like Job doesn't know. You know, chapter 37, verse 14, hear this, O Job, stop and consider the wondrous works of God. Do you know how God lays his command upon them and causes the lightning of his cloud to shine? Do you know the balancing of the clouds, the wondrous works of him who is perfect in knowledge? And, you know, out of all this, God's going to answer Job, right? And so Job doesn't have to keep defending himself anymore. And I think one of the things we can learn as we go through life, and maybe it's seasoned a little and matured a little bit of life that life brings to us, is we don't always have the answers. And it's not always that there's a direct correlation to a problem. Now, many times there are. right? But what Job shows us is there's things outside of our control that aren't necessarily caused by us, and how will we respond in faith to the world around us and the situations we find ourselves in? Will we keep trusting God, or will we try to figure it out in a way that removes God and just brings condemnation and blame to those that we love? Till next time, keep growing.